Hi everyone, welcome to the Elixir of Awareness channel. This is episode number 43, and today we're diving into a fascinating topic: how a single molecule in our brain, dopamine, shapes our experiences of love, creativity, and ambition. This episode is based on the groundbreaking book, The Molecule of More, by Dr. Daniel Lieberman and Michael E. If you've ever wondered why we chase goals, fall in love, or get stuck in endless loops of desire, stay tuned for an insightful journey.
Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button for more weekly updates on mental health and self-development. Thank you.
Let's start with the basics. What is dopamine? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, often misunderstood as the happiness hormone. In reality, it's not about feeling happy, it's about the pursuit of happiness. Think of dopamine as your brain's motivational engine. When you imagine achieving a big goal, like landing your dream job or buying a new car, that burst of excitement you feel, that's dopamine at work. It's constantly pushing us to explore new opportunities, take risks, and achieve more. What's fascinating is how dopamine keeps us future-focused. It's not about enjoying the present moment, but about chasing what's just out of reach. Whether it's planning an adventure, pursuing a passion, or even imagining what life could be like with a new romantic partner, dopamine is behind the thrill of the unknown. This molecule drives our ambition, creativity, and even survival instincts, making it one of the most powerful chemicals in our brain. And as we'll see, it's also responsible for some of life's biggest challenges.
Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button for more weekly updates on mental health and self-development.
One of the most intriguing roles of dopamine is how it drives our ability to think about the future. Unlike other neurotransmitters that keep us rooted in the present, dopamine is all about what could be. It helps us imagine possibilities, create goals, and motivates us to pursue them with energy and excitement. For instance, consider falling in love. In the early stages of a relationship, dopamine fuels the intense excitement and anticipation of getting to know someone new. It's not just about enjoying the moment you're in, it's about the endless potential you see for the future. What will happen on your next date? Could this be the one? That sense of wonder and possibility is pure dopamine at work. The same thing happens when you're chasing a dream, like starting a business or training for a marathon. Dopamine fires up when you think about the rewards of success, the financial freedom, the sense of achievement, or the medal you'll earn at the finish line. It keeps you energized and focused, even through challenges and setbacks. Dopamine doesn't just motivate, it creates a roadmap. It allows us to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term distractions, helping us make decisions that align with our bigger goals. However, there's a trade-off. Because dopamine is so focused on what's next, it can make it hard to appreciate what's already in front of us. So while dopamine is the reason humanity has accomplished incredible things, from building civilizations to exploring space, it's also the reason many of us feel restless, always chasing the next more. Balancing this powerful molecule is key to living a life where we can dream big without losing sight of the present.
Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button for more weekly updates on mental health and self-development. Thank you.
Dopamine's power lies in its ability to keep us striving, dreaming, and reaching for more. But this very strength can also become a trap. Unlike other brain chemicals like serotonin or oxytocin, which bring us contentment and connection, dopamine is never satisfied. It's always about what's next, never about what's now. Think of it this way. Imagine you finally achieve a long-term goal. Perhaps you land your dream job, buy the house you've always wanted, or finish a major project. At first, you might feel a rush of excitement and pride, but how long does that feeling last? Often, it's fleeting. That's because dopamine's job isn't to make you enjoy your accomplishments. It's to make you chase the next thing. This constant forward momentum can create a cycle of dissatisfaction. We tell ourselves, "I'll be happy when I get this," or "Life will be perfect when I achieve that." But once we reach that milestone, the happiness we anticipated often doesn't live up to our expectations. Why? Because dopamine immediately shifts its focus to the next pursuit. Social media is a prime example of the dopamine trap. Each notification, like, or comment gives us a tiny dopamine hit, encouraging us to keep scrolling or posting. But the satisfaction is short-lived, leading us to seek more validation in an endless loop. The same pattern can happen in other areas: relationships, career achievements, even consumerism. We keep thinking the next purchase, promotion, or partner will be the key to fulfillment, but dopamine keeps moving the goalpost. The challenge then is learning to recognize when dopamine is leading us astray. It's about finding a balance between striving for more and appreciating what we already have. Mindfulness practices, gratitude, and focusing on present moment experiences can help break the dopamine-driven cycle of endless pursuit. By stepping off the dopamine treadmill, we can still dream and achieve while finding joy in the here and now. Dopamine plays a fascinating role in creativity, driving the spark of imagination and innovation. It's the molecule that helps us think outside the box, connect unrelated ideas, and envision possibilities that don't yet exist. When dopamine is active, it pushes us to ask, "What if?" a question that lies at the heart of every creative endeavor. Imagine an artist staring at a blank canvas, or a writer with an empty page. Dopamine energizes them to explore new themes, experiment with styles, and take risks that might lead to something extraordinary. It's what fuels inventors and innovators to tackle problems from fresh perspectives, leading to groundbreaking solutions. From the light bulb to the smartphone, dopamine-driven creativity has reshaped the world. The creativity isn't just about making art or inventing gadgets. It's also about everyday problem solving. Whether you're planning a family vacation or brainstorming ideas for a presentation at work, dopamine helps you see multiple paths forward and choose the most innovative one. It empowers us to visualize outcomes and take calculated risks to achieve them. Interestingly, dopamine thrives on novelty. It's why we feel inspired when we encounter new experiences, environments, or challenges. That's also why many creative breakthroughs happen when we step outside our routines, whether it's traveling to a new place, meeting diverse people, or even daydreaming. These experiences activate dopamine pathways, encouraging unique ideas to emerge. However, there's a downside. While dopamine inspires creativity, it can also lead to endless idea chasing without follow-through. If you've ever started a dozen projects but finished none, that's dopamine's influence. It thrives on the thrill of beginnings, but often wanes when the work becomes repetitive. The key is to harness dopamine for sustained creativity. By combining dopamine's visionary spark with discipline and focus, fueled by other brain chemicals like serotonin, we can turn our wildest ideas into tangible realities. Creativity isn't just a product of talent. It's a dance between inspiration and effort. And dopamine is the rhythm that keeps us moving forward.
Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button for more weekly updates on mental health and self-development. Thank you.
Dopamine's role in relationships is both fascinating and complex. It's the chemical behind the intense feelings of excitement and euphoria we often associate with new love. When you meet someone who captivates you, dopamine floods your brain, making every interaction feel electric. Suddenly you're daydreaming about them, replaying conversations in your head, and looking forward to the next time you'll see them. This initial stage of infatuation, often called the honeymoon phase, is largely fueled by dopamine. It amplifies our focus and motivates us to pursue connection and closeness. Every text message, smile, or touch from the other person triggers another dopamine hit, reinforcing the feeling that this relationship is something special. It's why falling in love can feel so exhilarating. It's as if the world becomes brighter and full of possibilities. However, dopamine's influence in relationships doesn't last forever. Its job is to drive pursuit and novelty, which means it tends to fade as a relationship becomes more stable and predictable. This is where some people feel a loss of the spark or excitement they once had. It's not that the love is gone, it's that the dopamine-driven thrill of discovery has been replaced by other more stable brain chemicals like oxytocin, which fosters long-term bonding and trust. While dopamine can make relationships thrilling, it can also complicate them. For example, its craving for novelty can lead to restlessness or the temptation to seek excitement elsewhere. This is why understanding dopamine's role is so important. By recognizing that the thrill of new love is just one stage of a relationship, we can work to cultivate deeper connections that go beyond the dopamine rush. One way to keep dopamine active in long-term relationships is by introducing novelty, like trying new activities together, traveling to new places, or simply shaking up routines. These experiences reignite dopamine's excitement and remind us of the spark that brought us together in the first place. Dopamine may be the initial fire that lights the way to connection, but sustaining love requires a balance of excitement, trust, and shared growth. By understanding how dopamine influences our relationships, we can build connections that are not only passionate, but enduring. Dopamine's relationship with technology is one of the most impactful and at times troubling aspects of modern life. Technology, especially social media and smartphones, is designed to tap into our dopamine system. Every like, comment, or notification delivers a small dopamine hit, creating a cycle of craving and reward that keeps us endlessly scrolling and swiping. Think about the design of apps and platforms. Notifications are brightly colored to grab attention. Algorithms are optimized to show us content we find engaging, and feedback loops are instantaneous. These features aren't accidental. They are crafted to keep our dopamine levels fluctuating, driving us to spend more time on these platforms. Dopamine thrives on anticipation, which is why endless scrolling or the pull-to-refresh mechanism feels so addictive. Each scroll or refresh promises the possibility of discovering something new, whether it's an exciting post, a funny meme, or a message from a friend. This unpredictability makes it hard to stop, similar to how slot machines keep gamblers hooked. While this dynamic can be harmless fun, it can also lead to negative consequences. Constantly chasing dopamine hits from technology can erode our ability to focus, build meaningful relationships, or simply enjoy the present moment. Instead of using technology as a tool, we become its captive audience, driven by an endless search for the next digital reward. To counteract this, we can set intentional limits, such as designated screen-free times, or using apps that track and reduce usage. Understanding dopamine's role helps us regain control, ensuring technology serves us, rather than the other way around. With mindful use, we can enjoy the benefits of technology without falling into its dopamine-driven traps.
Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button for more weekly updates on mental health and self-development. Thank you.
The book teaches us that finding balance is crucial. We can't eliminate dopamine, but we can learn to control it. Balancing dopamine is key to living a fulfilling life without falling into the traps of overindulgence or burnout. Dopamine itself isn't the problem. It's essential for motivation, creativity, and joy. The challenge lies in managing how we respond to dopamine-driven cravings and ensuring it supports our long-term well-being rather than short-term gratification. One way to balance dopamine is by cultivating mindfulness. When we're aware of what triggers our dopamine spikes, whether it's a social media notification, a tempting treat, or the thrill of a new project, we can pause and assess whether indulging serves our larger goals. Mindfulness helps us recognize when dopamine is driving impulsive behavior and gives us the space to choose more intentional actions. Another strategy is to focus on activities that provide steady, sustainable satisfaction rather than fleeting highs. For example, regular exercise, meaningful social connections, and creative hobbies release dopamine in ways that are healthier and less addictive. These activities create a balanced dopamine response, leaving us feeling fulfilled rather than depleted. Setting boundaries around high dopamine activities is also crucial. Limiting time spent on technology, for instance, prevents overstimulation and helps us reset our dopamine levels. This can make simple pleasures, like a walk in nature or reading a book, feel more rewarding. Delayed gratification is another powerful tool. By setting goals and working toward them over time, we train our brains to enjoy the process, not just the reward. Whether it's saving for a dream vacation or mastering a new skill, the satisfaction of achieving a long-term goal is far more fulfilling than the quick-hit dopamine often lures us into chasing. Finally, it's important to combine dopamine-driven pursuits with the stabilizing influence of other brain chemicals like serotonin, which promotes contentment and well-being. By finding a balance between striving and savoring, we can harness the power of dopamine without letting it control us. Ultimately, the molecule of more reminds us that while dopamine is a powerful motivator, it's up to us to manage its influence. By balancing our pursuit of more with appreciation for the present, we can live more fulfilling lives. Dopamine is a powerful force in our lives, from shaping our desires to influencing how we relate to the world and others. It drives much of our behavior, creativity, and even our relationships. It's the chemical that propels us toward new experiences, that fuels our motivation to succeed, and that sparks the feelings of joy when we reach our goals. But like any powerful force, dopamine can become a double-edged sword if not managed properly. As we've explored, dopamine can bring us to new heights of creativity and inspiration, but it can also lead us down paths of addiction, restlessness, and constant dissatisfaction. The key is balance. Understanding the way dopamine works within us allows us to take back control and design our lives in ways that nurture long-term happiness rather than fleeting pleasure. Whether it's recognizing the difference between the thrill of novelty and the deep satisfaction of long-term goals, or learning to harness the creative potential dopamine offers without falling into its traps, we have the ability to make conscious decisions that support our well-being. Practices like mindfulness, delayed gratification, and incorporating activities that sustain us mentally, emotionally, and physically are crucial tools in managing this powerful brain chemical. Moreover, the relationship we have with technology and its dopamine-driven feedback loops can be recalibrated to ensure that technology serves our needs rather than hijacking our attention. By being mindful of how we engage with our digital world, we can ensure we don't lose touch with what truly matters. Ultimately, dopamine doesn't need to be feared. When we understand it, we can work with it, using it as a tool for motivation, creativity, and joy without allowing it to dictate our lives. Our journey is about finding the sweet spot, balancing the exciting, dopamine-fueled moments that provide us with lasting contentment and meaning. By embracing this balance, we can tap into the full potential of dopamine, creating lives that are not only productive but also rich with purpose, connection, and happiness. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you read The Molecule of More? Let us know what you think about dopamine's impact on our lives. With a helpful friend or colleague, you'll feel a sense of belonging and both benefits. Let portentous terror for you in the midst of life. And if you haven't read the book yet, add it to your reading list. It's a game changer. See you in the next episode.